Fulani pastoralists started migrating into northern Nigeria from the Senegambia region around the 13th or 14th century. After the Uthman Dan Fodio Jihad, the Fulani became integrated into the Hausa culture of northern Nigeria. But while managing the herd and driving cattle, grazing on farmland sometimes occur, leading to the destruction of crops and becoming a source of conflict. In Nigeria, the livestock supplied by herdsmen provide a bulk of the beef consumption in the country. But some farmlands in some states have had a fair share of the wanton destruction of food crops by grazing cattle. This has resulted in violent clashes between farmers and the herdsmen, which ends up with a number of deaths day after day.
They scatter our distance, kill many people for Allah. So as we run, them burn many houses for Allah.
Because we can't assess the place, we cannot ascertain exactly the casualty figures, but they saw some corpses on the road.
Historically, Fulani pastoralists have grazed in lands around the arid and Sahel regions of West Africa, partly because of the environmental conditions that limit the amount of land for agricultural purposes, leading to less intense competition for land between farmers and herders. However, after recurrent droughts in the arid and Sahel regions, Fulani pastoralists have gradually moved southwards to the Guinea savanna and the tropical forest areas, resulting in competition for grazing routes with farmers. The Fulani herdsmen crisis remains a major issue in Nigeria. So far, thousands have been killed and many more have been expelled from their homes. The government is yet to initiate any forceful action against them. Before now, the herdsmen have been known to wreak havoc in certain communities in Nigeria. But now, the rate at which they commit these crimes has increased exponentially.
All through my life, I've never seen this type of destruction. And the government urgently needs to mobilize soldiers and mobile policemen to these communities. Dead bodies are littering the roads. And these invaders are still very much around. Their cows are here. They are just hanging around the bushes.
We've had several killings in Abraka community, Eku, Igu, but the government have never thought it wise to visit this community to commiserate with the people.
According to statistics provided by the Institute for Economics and Peace, 1,229 people were killed in 2014, up from 63 in 2013. And Benue State seems to be the hardest hit in recent times.
You tell us that the Fulani men are reacting, they are retaliating, and they are killing us. You see the Fulani, they have no land here. There is no land for them. They are people of peace. No land for peace.
For instance, in Buruku, where I represent, there are Fulani people there that are indigent. So what are we saying? They can own the land.
Benue State House of Assembly recently passed the Open Rearing and Grazing Prohibition Bill, which bans herdsmen from moving freely from one farming community. Apart from providing for the establishment of ranches as the only acceptable means of rearing livestock, The bill prescribes 3 years imprisonment or a fine of 100,000 naira per animal or both for violation of the provisions of the law, including cattle rustling. Where such contravention causes the death of any person within the state, the owner or manager of such livestock shall be guilty of an offense of culpable homicide, punishable under the Penal Code law.
We want peace. We want peace. We want peace. We want peace.
Members of the movement against Fulani occupation, MAFO, presented a bill to the Benue State House of Assembly in March 2016 after the Agatu massacre.
We want peace. We want peace. We want peace. We want peace.
We considered a bill for a law to prohibit open rearing and grazing of livestock and provide for the establishment of ranches and livestock administration, regulation and control, and for matters connected therewith, 2017. Having been read the third time, is hereby passed into law.
For me, it's really like an eruka. It's something we've been anticipating, it's something we've been hoping for, it's something we wanted. Because the reality is that we cannot continue to have this menace and not checkmate it. So this bill for me and my people, the good people of Bungu, we have been looking forward to this bill and it's long overdue.
We have always advocated a four-part solution to this entire crisis. Number one, to legislate, which has begun now by the passage of this bill. Number two, to disarm and to prosecute. For an entity or a group of people to be allowed to carry arms around, arms with which they have inflicted harm on other Nigerians, is illegal, and it's something that should, be addressed by the government. So our second part solution is for them to be disarmed and them to be prosecuted. And then number three, we also have been advocating for the reconstruction of Benue communities, rehabilitation, reconstruction and compensation for Benue communities that have been affected by the menace of herdsmen, over the years.